Now you have finally made it to the USA for your studies. But listen, one wrong move could cost you, number one, your visa. It could cost you your job. It could also cost you even your degree. So in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 biggest mistakes that I have seen happening, and personally I have experience as an international student. I'm going to talk about them, letting you know what they are, how to go about them, and giving you some tips about how to live beyond these mistakes. All right, I know that most of you, particularly you the students, in your home countries at this moment, you're looking forward to come to the US to study, and sometimes, we all have that picture of USA in our minds, right? That, oh, USA is a land of the freedom. You can do anything, the money is just flowing like that. There are jobs available 24/7. Whatever you want to do, you can do it, and nobody's going to mind you. You can do whatever you want to do. But listen, America is different. Entirely another place altogether, right? This country runs by rules and regulation. It's the rules and regulation. And so if you do not abide by them, trust me, it could go wrong against you. Do you understand? It could go wrong against you. But then again, doesn't mean that when you come to the US to study, the way you were looking at things, the way you were expecting things to go for you, and maybe there are some little limitations for you, some hecklings here and there, some situations. Would you say that you want to pack your bags, your luggages, and just return to your home country just instantly, immediately? No.
I can never turn back. It's already too late. It won't make sense.
That cannot happen. You got to make sure that you sail through it. Ask the necessary questions. Look out for people, the resource people. Ask them the question. Get the right information. Go to your international office. Ask them all the necessary questions, and I'm sure that you will receive help. I am one person here all the time. I'm here for you. If you have any question, make sure to reach out and ask me, right? Let me know, because I don't want you to just return like that just because you've experienced 1 or 2 issues and that's it. No, we're gonna be in here together and then make it happen. You're gonna make your dad and your mom proud all the time. All right, so now let's get into the main video. Okay, so the first one I'm gonna talk about is you ignoring your visa rules, or the visa rules, the F1 visa rules or the J1 visa rules, right? If you ignore the rules governing your status or this visa that you are on to study in the United States of America, it will go against you, right? For example, as an international student, there are certain things you are allowed to do and certain things you are not allowed to do. Number one, when it comes to do with work, you can only work 20 hours on campus. You can only work 20 hours on campus whilst school is ongoing or while school is in session. Do you understand that? I'm going to get into the details of that. Now, again, as an international student, if you want to work on CPT or OPT whilst here in the US, you need to get an approval from your DSO. Your DSO is your designated school official. Normally, these are the people who will sign your I-20 or issue your I-20 for you, right? You need to have an approval from them before you go out to do anything, either on CPT or on OPT. Now, CPT is basically like maybe you doing some sort of internship whilst in school. So you can only do this whilst in school. Let's say over the summer. Now most of the schools, they're on break. So when they finish school, maybe in May, you have for about 3 months or so before the fall semester kickstart in August, right? So in that break, you get to work. If you have an internship with any company, you get to work more than the stipulated 20 hours. But before you do this, as I said, you need to have an approval from your international office or from your DSO. Same thing applies to the OPT, but for the OPT, that one you get to do it after your school. When you're done with school, it's just like, for example, maybe in Ghana, we do something that is called national service. And national service, you can only do it after school, right? But something like industrial attachment, you can do that whilst in school. And over here in the US, it is called CPT. But for you to do all these things, you need to get an approval from your DSO. Now, listen, I've heard a couple of people losing their status for working illegally. What I mean by that is working maybe on CPT without an approval. That is you working off campus. Like you work off campus, but it is not allowed. But for you to do that, you need to get an approval from your DSO. As I said, I've seen a couple of people, they lost their status just because they were not able to get the approval from their DSO. Then again, this CPT is a very big deal for us, the international students, right? I've seen many people, many colleagues or friends, they have generated some funds from this CPT thing because you get to work more than the 20 hours. You're not paying any tuition unless you're taking some summer classes, right? And so you have the chance to save a lot of money. Well, not like a lot, but to save some amount of money. That should help you pay your tuition or cater for some sort of expenses in the fall semester, right? And so this is what you can do. Whilst in your first semester, make sure that you are in touch with your DSO. Go there quite often, find out if you are already eligible for your CPT so that you start looking for jobs, right? Apply, get the jobs, take the appointment letter to your international office or to your DSO. The DSO would graciously approve your CPT thing for you. Take that, show it to your employer and kickstart in the break. Maybe in the summer or in the winter. Get some money. Get some money for yourself, okay? My tip for you on this is for you to stay in touch with your international office, more particularly your DSO. Are we clear on that? Okay, now let's get to the second one, okay? I've seen some students also waiting too long to start building their credit score. Credit score is one big thing also here in the US, right? Because in the future, this can help you acquire certain things. Even whilst in school, getting a secured credit card can help you to settle certain things, certain small things, right? Even your tuition. I've used my credit card to pay tuition for a student before, right? I've used my credit card to pay for my rent before. My phone bills, I've used my credit card to do all those things before, right? And so you can use some of these credit cards to, a secured one, not just anything on the internet. You can reach out, I will let you know which ones to apply for, right? And so you can get this one, use it to start building your credit scores, right? Build it because in the future, if you want to probably get a house, you want to probably get a car, or maybe get some other things that you readily do not have the money for. Most of these companies that you're going to work with, they will run your credit score just to find out if this person they're going to do this business with, the person has been faithful in the past, right? And so try to help yourself with some of these initiatives. As a student, if you do not have a scholarship at this point, or you don't have any funding, maybe any GA or anything from your school, you may be looking at when you get to the US, getting a secured credit card just to help you. It's a form of like a loan, but it is better in a certain way more than the regular loan companies out there. The interest on these credit cards are not so much like, those big loans that you guys will take, right? And so you may want to be looking at some of these things. Start building your credit score from now. The moment you get into the US, you can let me know and I'll be of help to you. So my tip on this for you is, first of all, to get a secured credit card. Number 2 is for you to use this card to pay for certain essential stuff, right? Maybe for your rent. You can use your credit card to pay for that, but make sure that as soon as maybe you receive your pay from other means, pay it off quickly. Pay it off. For me, I don't like to owe. That is one thing about me. I do not like to owe. So even if maybe they want to spread it, for example, maybe I'm owing $300 and then they want to spread it for me maybe about 6 months to pay for everything within 6 months. I don't like to have that thing done like that for me. So even if I get $100, I pay it off. So 6 months, maybe let's say $35, maybe even for 10 months, right? I don't like to owe. So even if I get $100, I pay it back. $150, I pay it back. $200, I pay it back. I just do not like to owe. That is the thing. That is how I go about, because then again too, I don't want the interest to accrue so much on my account to be paying it in the future. So I just pay like that. So work on it like this, and I believe that your credit score would be good, right? It will be good. Number 3, I've seen some students also not networking beyond their international students or international friends. Because sometimes, well, I understand it is so tempting to just stay in your comfort zone, particularly those of you who are introvert. It is just difficult to explore opportunities or meet new people, network with them, introduce yourselves to them and all that. Sometimes it is just difficult. Maybe some of you just don't like to talk too much. You prefer to be in your own space. But listen, America will change you. America will change you. I have seen people getting blessed just because they were saying hi to people around them. Like when they meet them around, they go like, hi, good morning. And then the person will just ask them a question that, hi, I've seen you around all the time. What do you do? What are you doing in school here? Do you have a campus job? Do you do this and that? Listen, I've seen this courtesy or just networking or opening up to people like that. I've seen that thing blessing people here in the USA. So sometimes I know it is tempting, but live beyond that. You should be able to network with some domestic students, like some Americans, network with them. And then also some locals, like people in the community. Some of them necessarily, they're not from America, but I mean, they've been here. So sometimes when you have the opportunity, seize it and network with them. Also, you should be looking at networking with your professors. I know back home, it is very difficult to network with your professor, right? Because you know how our professors back home, maybe Nigeria or Ghana, Uganda, Kenya, you know, there's a way our professors behave, right? Let me not even say behave. They have that sort of atmosphere that sometimes it is unapproachable, right? It is unapproachable. And so sometimes to go close to them and say hi to them, good morning, professor, I have this project, I want you to look into it for me, blah, 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 stuff like that. It doesn't necessarily happen because, I mean, the environment is not that welcoming. I do understand. But listen, I here in the US, it is possible, right? It is possible. One thing that was troubling me first of all when I came to school here, I started class, this professor, he is about, I think, 70 plus years, right? And so anytime people want to ask questions in class, they will just go like, Doug, I got a question. I'm like, hey, Charlie, you won't say that, Professor Doug. They just call the person's first name and stuff like that. I was like, hey, Charlie, not in my country. You gotta put respect on it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gotta make that happen for real. And so this was a big deal until, because I was hanging around with them, one day I wanted to ask a question in class, and I was like, Doug, I got a question. I was like, it happened like that. So I just don't even know why or how that thing just got to me, you know. But yes, you got to network with your professors, some career mentors. You have to network with them. It is important. it will help you. Okay, so my tip on this one for you is, first of all, try to join clubs. For example, when I was in school, I joined the African Student Association. I hosted a couple of their events, right? And then also international club. I hosted about 2 events at the University of South Dakota for this club called International Club. So wherever that I am, I take on initiatives, right? The African Student Association, I hosted them, and then also with the International Club, I did that. I was just taking initiatives, right? So whilst I joined this club, another thing is to volunteer. So I wasn't paid for hosting or emceeing their programs, but it was an opportunity for me to sell myself out too. You know, I saw it, I seized it, I took it, and it worked for me. Do you understand that? And so you may want to look at some of these things. When you see any career fair event, go there, network with some of these employers coming to you, display or showcase their things for you. It is very important. It will help you. Okay, now let's get to point number 4. Poor time management plus job or work plus school or academic work, right? I've seen students juggling schoolwork, professional work, that is they working on campus. Sometimes working around these 2 things, it can get so confusing. People usually will burn out. And so what I think you should be doing when you come to the US, you have an on-campus job, you have school or maybe classes to attend, or you have assignments to do, quizzes to write, assignments to do. Make sure that you plan these things very well. I know for me back home, I wasn't doing a good planning, but when I got to the US, I saw the need to get into, planning. Right? So for example, maybe you go since you are having maybe 3-hour shift today, I make sure that when I get there, I do that, right? And then maybe after work, I have 1 hour to myself. Let me go through my emails and reply everything. And then maybe after that, I can take some 1 or 2 hours to socialize with my friends. And then from that place, I'm heading to the library. I'm going to study. But make sure that what you are doing this, you are having your lunchtime. Sometimes, even having this lunchtime together with some other friends. You don't need to be sitting somewhere every time. Sometimes change your lunch desk, go some other places, go take a lunch and meet some new people, right? It is very important so that you don't get so much consumed with academical work together with your professional work. Do you understand that? So look at this and set your priorities right. Make sure that you access the impact of every task that you have to do. It is very important because when you're able to access this impact of the work, you are able to rearrange them to know which one will be number 1 to do first, number 2 to do second, and number 3 to do on the 3rd row. Okay, so look at these things and work accordingly. It will be good to you. Okay, now number 5. This is something that is currently on my mind. It's a big option. It's a very big one, and I had to leave it for the last, right? A friend called me this week and was like, bro, I've seen most of the international students, they are not getting jobs. I'm not trying to scare anybody out there, but it is not as, how you are purporting it to be, you are assuming it to be. Listen, it is not like that anymore. Well, I don't even know if it was like that in the past, but currently things are getting a little bit tight, right? So I do not want you to wait after graduation before you start thinking about work. You start thinking about your OPT before you start thinking about looking at companies that can work on your H-1B visa for you. No, you do not have to wait after your graduation before you start that. Listen, the moment you get to school, the moment you start school, start thinking about the future, right? Your first semester, the moment you have everything in place for you, start thinking about what you're going to do after school, right? Start thinking about it. Talk to your DSO about it. Talk to your advisor, your academic advisor, for any advice, right? So that sometimes spend some time on Indeed. spend some time on LinkedIn, go on Google, look out for some jobs, start applying for certain things, particularly for CPT. And whilst you are on your CPT, build some sort of network, with this company, so that sometimes you could even end up going back to the place that you had your CPT conducted or CPT done, right? So, but on the OPT, as I said, it is done after school, right? So do not wait after you graduate and then you start looking into your OPT, or start applying for it, or start applying for a job. So my tip on this for you is for you to start talking to the career advisors. Your career advisors, we have all of them. They are in every school. They are in every school. So start talking to these career advisors while school is in session. Whilst you are still a student, start talking with them. Start having this serious conversation with them, okay? Number 2, start looking or researching into companies that hire international students, right? Start doing this as early as you can, right? Companies that hire international students, look into them, right? Start writing to them, having your network, everything intact with them, okay? Number 3, make sure that you update your resume every semester. Update your resume. Any volunteering that you will do, anything you will do, list it somewhere, put it on your resume. Some of the volunteering you did or some works you did whilst on campus, they would relate with those jobs. So editing this resume, from time to time according to the job you're applying for. And trust me, most of the experiences you will have whilst on campus, you will need them after school. You will need them. You will definitely need them, okay? So these are the 5 biggest things or mistakes that most students will do. I've seen them doing it, I've experienced some of them, and so I do not want you to experience any of them, okay? Now, with these 5 points that I spoke about, which one was the biggest for you? I want to know that in the comment section. Put it up there. I want to know what you are thinking about it. Once again, if you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to my channel so that when I post any other more engaging content or beautiful content, you get to know about them. Many thanks for watching. You can connect with me on Instagram or any other social media platform. I am there. All right, send me an email if you want to book a one-on-one session with me too. You can do that. I've got all the things you would need to do all that. The links, I have them in the description of this video. And so I'm wishing everybody all the best. Remember that God loves you. I want to see you someday here fulfilling your dream by studying abroad, particularly in the US of A. God bless everybody. I'll see you in the next video. My name is McRay. Sogah. Bye-bye.
I can never go back, oh no, no.